Hi guys, it's Andy from Man City Fan TV. How is everyone today? Hope you're well. Welcome to this quick, and it is going to be quick update vlog, live vlog, all about the PEP press conference, which today wasn't, again, the usual stuff, wasn't really much in there. Lots of inane questions asked again by journalists, and in particular, Simon Stones again asking some bullshit questions. But sorry, my phone is going mental at the moment, business stuff. So hence why this one's going to be a quick one. We're going to just go over Pep's press conference. Like I said, there's not much in it. A little bit of an update on Leroy Sané, the fact that he won't be appearing on Sunday. Then we'll have a look at some of the bits and pieces of news, and also give me your lineup for Sunday. And I think it's all dependent on who is fit and who isn't, because there wasn't really an update as to who exactly is fit and who isn't. Is Laporte back? Nobody asked. Not that I watched on the press conference anyway. And then there was the embargo. So I'll give you my lineup dependent if Laporte is fit. But let me go back, quickly see who is on. Shadow rundown, great news. Alisson is injured. I heard that today, that he's going to be out. So Adrian's going to be in net. Ryan Corrie, why is that great news? Jack Lee, hello Andy. Michael, City old timer. Hi, come on City. How are you, mate? Ryan Corrie, quick? Yeah, it's going to be quick, mate. I'm out tonight, so I've got to go for a shower. I'm staying over in Liverpool, so... Afternoon, Blue. Scott Williams, how are you? Tom Hudson, hello, evening, everyone. Good evening to you, Tom. What I will do is, before we go into the rest of it, I'm going to post you a link to last night's podcast, and I want to say again a massive thank you to everybody who joined us on the podcast last night. That was Chris Baker, Carl in Washington, and Tom Hudson, who's on here today. So it's a really good listen. What we do, it's a cup review. So we reviewed the Real Madrid game, and we talked all about that. We looked at the Wembley Carabao Cup victory on Sunday, and then last night's game, the night before, what day is it now? Friday. Wednesday night's game against Sheffield Wednesday. And Tom was there. Hence why he was on the channel as well, because he was at Wembley. He was also at the Sheffield Wednesday game on Wednesday night. So go over and have a listen to it. It's really interesting. We talk about opposition fans and the way that they're lately, since the UEFA thing came out, which my bloody phone would stop buzzing. The UEFA news came out that they found us guilty and were going to ban us for 2 years. There's been a real shift, a real change in their attitude towards City fans. But we're not going to sit here and cry about it, but we do discuss it last night. Chris Baker brought it up, and we talk about that. Then there's the golden question, where each guest gets an opportunity to ask each of us a question. And the questions last night were so tough. They were really, really tough. So if you haven't listened to it, don't forget it's also available on SoundCloud, free of charge. You can go over and listen to it on there. It's about an hour and 20 minutes, and we talk about the 3 games, we talk about the fan abuse, we talk about the golden question, and then we also just quickly skim over the United game on Sunday and sort of asked about a victory for who on Sunday. So go and give that a watch. Also, what we'll do is I'll post a link because Kiam's been at it again, and he's been on a pretty, the Premier League predictions. If you haven't seen Kiam's, go over and see that. Sorry, I can't get my words out at the moment because I've got things flying off on my phone here. I meant to say that Kiam did the Premier League predictions video that went out this morning. So go over and have a look at the Premier League predictions link. That's there, and you can have a look at there and see who is where in the table and what do we think about this weekend's upcoming games. So they're the 2 links. The podcast, that's definitely worth a listen. And the Premier League predictions, go over and see where you are in the table if you don't know. And basically what we think of this week's results So let me see who else is on. Carl, how are you, buddy? Carl, this is Carl who was on the podcast last night from Washington. Brilliant, really, really good. Really pleased to have him on. Talks a lot of sense and makes some really good points. So if you want to go over, spend an hour and 20, you can watch it, you can listen to it or watch it if it's on YouTube in different parts if you don't want to, or you can download it on SoundCloud and go for a run, go to the gym, in your car, whatever. Put it on there and go and have a listen to it. So it's quite interesting. Carl, multitasking on a conference call at the same time. Yeah, no, we're not very good at that. Or so the women tell us they can multitask. They say or they claim. My answer to that is always the difference being is that we do one thing well. They do several things. Okay. I'm going to get so much abuse for that one, aren't I? Being sexist now. I'm only kidding. I'm only joking. Winding up any of the girls that are on here watching. But yes, we can't live without them. Shadow, Rundown Edison. We're going to come to that, mate. We're going to come to the team. Not yet. We're going to come to the team. Just hold your horses. Wait till we ask. Hi, Andy and Blues. Mark the Blue says, how are you, buddy? Been a busy week. It's been an absolutely crazy week. Kiam, happy Friday, everyone. Kiam's on. Shadow Rundown. Ole was moaning last night about how City get an extra day to prepare. Yeah, well, it was raised and Pep sort of bashed that away in his press conference. I mean, how many, face it, how many games have we had to have, like 48 hours to play? Apologies to Ryan Corrie. I made a town hall of his audio, so it was missing from the Premier League predictions video. I'm sure everyone's like that, Ryan. Thank God for that. That Carlisle accent. But anyway, we got his predictions. Nipam Sharma, do you have to be a City fan to be on the podcast? No, because we have Cal Blundell, who's an Evertonian, who's come on the podcast before. We've had other guests who are not necessarily it's City fans, so no, you don't have to be a City fan to be on the podcast. We just have to, if you're an opposition fan, it has to be sort of the podcast has to be relevant to. Let's say you're a Chelsea fan, for example, and let's say we've got a game coming up against Chelsea, and we're going to talk about Chelsea. Then you're more than welcome to come on. Sometimes we're just talking solely about City, but we do have other guests on. Talking about other things. We've had Yannick from Chelsea podcast and YouTuber. He's been on the podcast talking about Chelsea and talking about other things as well. So it's one of those. We do talk about lots of other things on the podcast. So we might talk about FFP, we might talk about UEFA, we might talk about other things. So if you're going to come on the podcast, you need to know a little bit about some of the stuff and we might be talking about. But all you have to do if you want to come on, like we keep saying, if you go on the channel, you'll clearly see on the thumbnail, it tells you exactly what to do. But all you have to do is send us an email to mcfcfantv@gmail.com and just say, look, if there's any sort of Chelsea stuff you want to talk about coming up in the future, I'm happy to come on. So there you go. Tom says, as long as Stones doesn't play this Sunday, it's all good. Oof. Hi, Andy and fellow Blues. How are you, Peter Curry? Carl. Hi, Andy. I am back. You're back. Ryan says they'll all be sad. They have to sit through you saying 1-1 9 times with your one other prediction for City. No, you're wrong because they weren't all 1-1s, Ryan. Not all of them. Most of them. Not all of them. So you're wrong in that respect, buddy. But anyway, let's take a look at Pep's press conference today. And before we talk about the game, obviously last night there was the whole thing with Ceferin speaking out, and there's a video on Sky Sports if you want to go over and watch it. It's where he's interviewed talking about relationship, UEFA's relationship. He don't really say a great deal, if I'm honest. More sort of like diatribe from the idiot. But ahead of the derby on Sunday, United are hopeful that Aaron Wan-Bissaka and Daniel James will return for Sunday's derby. But captain Harry Maguire is touch and go to make it. So we'll wait and see, but be interested to see whether the likes of Daniel James and Wan-Bissaka play. United obviously having a good result against Derby last night. What else have we got? So here we go. This is what was said today about in Pep's press conference, which, to be fair, wasn't a great deal. On Kevin De Bruyne, he said he's getting better. Tomorrow he's going to train. He's not perfect, but he feels better, which is great news for City. Sort of suggests he will play on Sunday. And I think Kevin De Bruyne has even come out and made a statement saying he's desperate to play on Sunday. So on United, he said, what I saw, the players follow him. Absolutely, they're getting better. Right now is maybe their best moment of the season. When asked about Ollie and Man United and where they are at this moment in time. On the coronavirus, he said, we're going to try and live our normal life and the doctors will tell us what we need to do. On away wins in the derby, normally it's more comfortable for the home team, he said. I don't know why that is. It's always difficult to win against the big clubs. It doesn't mean it's going to happen on Sunday, though. On Phil Foden, he said if Phil is with us, he's ready to play on the big stage. Somebody asked the question saying, you know, he's not played a great deal. Is he ready? Is he really ready for the big games like Champions League? And Guardiola basically said, look, he's in the squad. He's constantly in my thoughts. When he's ready and we want to include him, we include him. It doesn't make any difference whether it's a Premier League game, a friendly, a cup competition, or the Champions League. If he's going to be in the team, he's going to be picked on merit, and he'll play whenever we decide he's going to play. Guardiola on trouble in the derby said we have to try and behave good as managers. First, he did say first players, second, and the fans, the supporters. And he was asked about over the last couple of games against United, there has been some crowd trouble and bits and pieces. And he did say, look, it's down to us as managers first to behave properly, then the players on the pitch to behave properly, and the supporters also. So let's hope it goes off without any trouble on Sunday. Talking about Raheem Sterling, a question was asked saying he's gone 16 games without scoring against United. And he said, normally what happens after 16 games is you're closer to scoring against United, basically. So he sort of brushed that off again. I mean, there were some absolutely garbage questions again by journalists, and some of them by thinking there was one sports performance or something or other, and you're thinking, how have they got access to Pep Guardiola in a City press conference for a derby? Surely it would be prudent for, let's face it, give a fan a chance to ask a question, even if it's pre-prepared and one that they've run through the press officer. Give a fan. It doesn't have to be a fan channel. It doesn't have to be me or Stephen or Cheesy or whoever, but give an average fan on the street a chance to sit there. How unique would that be, Manchester City, to pull off I'm using these words again, pull off a City fan off the street and say, do you want, somebody that they've spoken to, and say, do you want to ask a question to Pep Guardiola in the press conference? You can have one, but you're going to have to run it by us, and we'll okay it. Let them have a bit of say, a bit of connection with the club, rather than some random sort of like YouTube or, media outlet asking stupid questions of them. It drives me absolutely bonkers. No wonder we feel as fans sometimes there's a massive divide between the fans and the club at times. Guardiola on the derby. He said, it's so nice. I love it. They're always special. The situation this season is a bit different as we play to improve, not to win the title. For them, it's so important. It will affect the Champions League for next season. We want to improve what we're going to do. At Sheffield Wednesday, we had moments that we didn't do perfectly. He said more at stake for you. He was asked about, was it more at stake this game for United? And he said, if we believe it's more important for them than us, we'll lose the game. I never play a game thinking we have more points or these points. On City's form, he said it's been a good month. We've done well. Even before that, our level of play was good, but there's still 2 months to go and a lot to play for. On United's style, he said, when I saw the last game, they were incredibly aggressive, because the question really on this one, even though it doesn't say it on the MEN website, was about Klopp, and the Klopp saying that they're very defensive. And he said, when I saw the last game, they were incredibly aggressive. In some games, they're defending against us, but what I saw of the last game, it's a team that is aggressive. At Goodison Park, they played a good game. On Leroy Sané, he was asked if he's in the squad on Sunday. He said no, he's making big progress, but he's still not 100% fit, and he has to be 100% fit to play now. Maybe another under-23 game would be good for him. So that was it, because then there was the embargo, like it normally is. So let me go back to your comments. Stones is just like British weather. Have you seen, Shadow, have you seen Pep's advert with Nissan? No, I haven't. Nippon, Daniel James is pace merchant, nothing more. Still dangerous. Michael, City old timer. Reporters asking Pep useless questions again. Yep, they were. Scott Williams, garbage interview, non-committal, trying to wash his hands from the FFP chamber and then suggests UEFA are looking at changing FFP. Fair play to the interviewer. He kept going for the jugular. I think you're talking about Sefron's interview there. Scott Williams, yes. Mingyu Wong, hello, Andy. How's everything? Yeah, I'm good, mate. How are you? Martin's on. Just popped in to say hello. A reminder that the watch-along for Sunday is 4 p.m. There you go. So don't forget, check in for that. On Sunday, Martin is doing a watch-along for the United game. Mingyu Wong, ban the journalist from the City media. Oh, I guess it won't happen. It won't happen, mate. Ryan Corrie, the rain is back. Lovely. Not here, mate. Been a beautiful day today. At least I had a day off yesterday. It's been gorgeous here. Sun's been out all day. So I even have my sunglasses on in the car. So, no, it's been absolutely fine here. I was just looking there. Man City's just emailed me. Hopefully. Maybe they've said, hey, do you want to ask a question of Pep in the next press conference? Somehow, I doubt it. But what are your thoughts? Do you think that's a good idea? Do you think that City should get a little bit more of a closer connection with the fan base by allowing an average fan off the street to ask one question of Pep Guardiola at the press conference? Why should the media be given 2, 3, 4 questions sometimes? Inane, garbage, nonsense questions that Pep just, you can see his face, he just brushes it away. It's like, oh, here we go again. Even when it goes, yeah, Simon Stone, BBC, it's like, oh, here we go. Don't know why the press officer allows it. I really don't. Instead of just saying one question to you because you're a bit of a bell end, and give the average fan on the street a chance to ask a question. So what are your thoughts? Would you like to ask a question? If you could ask one question, here's one for you before we go in for the team for Sunday. If you've got an opportunity, what question would you ask Pep Guardiola today in the press conference? There you go. So post below, what question, if you were in that press conference today, would you ask Pep Guardiola? Remember, it's got to be sensible. Otherwise, it ain't going to be asked. It's down to the FA, not Man City, isn't it? What's that? What's down to the FA? What question? Scott Williams, good idea, even if they put through the Citizens Channel or Supports Club branch each week. Yeah, something like that. I have no problems with that whatsoever. I'm not asking for them to have a YouTube fan channel or something beyond there. I'm just saying a general, just your average fan, if they're a season ticket holder or not, or somebody who goes or doesn't, or whatever. But yeah, maybe through the Supports Club branches would be a good idea. Give them something, a bit of connection with the club. I think it'd be a brilliant idea, absolutely brilliant, because it would have to be run through the press officer, the media department, and of course it will be, because their job isn't on the line. Though they could say we'll ban you from the club if you ask a stupid question live. But yeah, I don't know. I'd rather have that than listen to some of the garbage questions that are asked of Pep Guardiola week in, week out at the press conferences. Hi, Pep. What's your honest opinion on all those other clowns in the room? Ryan Corrie, you'd be banned from the Etihad. Would he buy... Very good, Peter. That's not, he'd probably go, who's either? Martin says, does he watch Man City fan TV? I very much doubt it. That'd be a quick answer. Who? Kiam, why do you think City are so far behind Liverpool this season? Good question. I mean, that's one I think, it'd be interesting to hear what Pep says as an answer to that to the fan base. I have no idea what the Arabic question is. We don't speak Arabic, mate. Tasman UK, what player have you improved the most at City? Wow, that's another good question. I'm sure some of these, and this is why it's not always easy. because, you know, he'll obviously want to not upset other players, because if you don't mention them, is it meaning, what, I've not improved as much or whatever? But yeah, good question. Great question, Peter C. Peter Curry, fantastic idea, Andy. Well, I just think it's I think I've mentioned this before. I've mentioned it on, I think, vlogs earlier this season and last year and things. Why not? Why not bridge the gap? Because I do think there's a bit of a disconnect. I do think a section of the fan base, a large section of the fan base, feel there's a bit of a disconnect between the club and its fans, like it is at most clubs. Why not just trial it? Give it a go. Ming Wong, hello Pep. Do you like playing golf more than listening to the press? Hey. You know there's only one answer to that one, and that will be C. Shadow Rundown, can you bring Arteta back to fix Sterling? Ryan Curry, if anyone gets banned, we can all go back to supporting Chelsea, right? Yeah, of course. We're all Chelsea fans, weren't we, a few years ago? I would ask, what did you mean the other day when you mentioned Barca and things they may have done? God, you'll be suddenly called Kiam Harris, won't you? Yeah, you'll have to sort of create a new Twitter account, Kiam. You'll be getting loads of grief off City fans. Jaden Baker, ask him what he thinks of our fans and if he understands why the ground isn't full every game. Well, I'm sure he'd just say, well, every single Premier League stadium is never full every game. Kian, I think Fletch from United Stand has asked questions in a couple of Europa League pressers. What, in, I take it, United, I'm assuming, clearly not City. If he has, yeah, there you go. That's decent. If so, Shadow Rundown, Jaden Baker, he's been asked that once before. Tasman UK, which team that you have managed has been closest to perfection? Wow. What do you think? Do you know that type of question would possibly get a very balanced? He'd have to think about that, because obviously Barca is his first love. Seems like City is his second love. And I'm sure if he was really honest, and he could be truthful, he'd probably say that Barca team. Martin says Flex gets into training sessions as well. Kiam, yeah, big, massive account, aren't they? So why not engage there? Open training sessions, I mean, not private ones. United Stand, our football YouTube team. United Stand, our football YouTube team. Oh, I mean, yeah, they do have a team, but I mean, it's, yeah, they play against Arsenal, Arsenal Fan TV, or AFTV. So anyway, interesting. So let's move on quickly before I go. Let's take a look at what do we think is going to be the team, because obviously we've got Pep versus Ollie on Sunday, so it's going to be interesting to see who plays, who doesn't. United are on a little bit of a decent run at the moment. Ogala seems to be banging in some goals. Everyone's now, claiming Bruno Fernandes is the greatest midfielder in world football after five games. But he does look decent. I'll give it that. He is a decent player. I think Pep was asked about Bruno Fernandes today as well, and he just said, well, we've been linked with 1,000 million players every single month. I don't think City or anyone has been in touch with Bruno Fernandes for wanting him at this particular club. I'm guessing it's more his agent that in the whole process was doing that. So, so we'll see. So what team then? Let's have a look. This is going to be my team, dependent if Laporte is fit, and if not, I'm going to go for Otamendi. So here you go. Somebody asked the other day and said, oh, can you not put the real numbers and can you not put the net? Yeah, there you go. Done it for you, whoever asked that. So Ederson in net, as usual. Fernandinho and Laporte, if Laporte is fit. We've heard nothing major, and if I've missed it, then please let me know. But nothing major on Laporte. Will he play or not? We'll wait and see. If not, I'm going to go for Fernandinho and Otamendi. I think Walker is definitely coming back, just in case Daniel James does play. And I think he deserves it because Walker's played pretty well lately. And I'm going to stick with Ben Mendy. He's been doing really, really well of late, and hopefully he's going to have a big game against United on Sunday. I'm then going to go for Rodri in the holding role. I do think Kevin De Bruyne will definitely be back for Sunday, so I'm going to go Kevin De Bruyne ahead of Rodri, and I'd personally, I'd put David Silva in there, but he did say Foden's going to play now, but he didn't say Foden was going to start. So maybe Foden might be on the bench and David Silva's in that position, and maybe Foden comes on. But we'll wait and see. Maybe it's time Phil Foden in a derby starts the game. I'm going to switch it around. Mahrez played the other day. I'm going to go for Bernardo to play out wide on the right because of his energy and his tracking back and his tenacity. And I think he'll help and seems to play very well with Kyle Walker. I'm going to go for Raheem Sterling. I think a bit of pace will always terrify United's defence, who I don't think are fantastic. So I'm going to think he'll stick with Sterling. And I'm surprised, I'm dropping Aguero to the bench. And I'm going for Gabby Jesus, even though Aguero's my captain in my fantasy team. I'm going for Gabby to start up front. Just think more energy, more tracking down. And I think Aguero might come on in the second half if need be, and maybe bang in a goal or two. So that's my particular team. And again, it's all dependent on whether Laporte is fit or it's not. If not, it will be Otamendi, in my opinion. But what do you think? And I'll remove this now so I can see your comments. No, I'll leave it there because I can go back and look at your comments over here. So what do you think for the team? Let me go back to see who's on. We could send Martin to 6 training ground, but him looking 21, he may be mistaken. Islam, tell me for Mahrez. Tell you what, mate. Martin, we need a team. Me as coach, Andy up top, Kiam at centre back, Mingy Wong, Andy as a manager, Martin as a defensive midfielder. Shadow. After the last derby, Pep came out with a miracle, so who knows, Jaden? Yes, I know. I was meaning that because I think what he said about the fans was a bit wrong, and to be honest, he shouldn't have said it. Chris Baker as assistant coach. Ryan Corrie, Viva Igalo, Viva Igalo. He's come from Shanghai. We're all going to die. Oh, Ryan. We've been slagging off United fans for singing that last night. Not great at all. When United fans are complaining about, other teams' fans singing about Munich and things like that. And, it's not funny when today we've had more news about deaths in the UK from the coronavirus. So, yeah, bit poor taste, buddy. Maybe think next time before you post stuff like that on the channel. Kiam, centre-back Martin, behave. I was the best striker in my age group in Manchester for about 5 years. Use your players wisely. Shadow rundown. I can see Laporte coming back for the Burnley game. Martin, I was the Pep of you football in Sunday leagues. Oh shit. Carl says no. David Silva. We need energy. Mingyi Wong. I played at centre back in midfield at school. Was good at that position. Scott Williams goes for Edison, Walker, the General, Ferner, Mendy, Rodri, Foden, Ilkay, Sterling, Kun, Mahrez. If Slabhead is out, Jesus instead of Kun. Well, it's touch and go, Scott. So we'll wait and see. Tasman, I think he will go Gundogan and Rodri. Otamendi needs to play. He always scores in the derby. Okay, so you're all going for... Okay, well, what if Laporte was available? Would you go Laporte and Otamendi? And what would happen with Fernandinho? Would you put him back in midfield? But I don't think he's going there. Good afternoon, Lankow. You come on late, mate. We're about to go. So give us your thoughts. I'm staying on for what time? I've got 5 more minutes and then I've got to go. So give me your lineup. Seen a few people saying 1 or 2 positions. There's only really Scott Williams at the moment who's give me a full starting 11. And he's gone for Edison, Walker, the General, Fernand, Mendy, Rodri, Foden, Ilkay, Sterling, Kun and Mahrez. But says if Slabhead is out, he thinks Jesus instead of Kun. I think Jesus is going to start regardless. I really do. I think he's going to start him. I'll be honest. That's my opinion anyway. So give me your 11. Then I'm going to go. And your scores, yeah, give me your scores as well. Shadow Rundown, 2-0 City win. Lankar, Bernardo and David in the middle, both scoring. Scoring's can't see Pep risking Laporte before Madrid if indeed he could make that game. Yeah, I mean, this is the thing. We don't know. Not heard anything. We don't know. I'm surprised nobody asked him right at the very beginning. There was no questions about who's fit and who's not. There was nothing. I don't think it was asked again before the Sheffield Wednesday game about it. So we've had a week now where there's no real questions coming out about Laporte's fitness. So I'll be surprised if he plays, I must admit. I just put him in there thinking if he is fit and Pep's keeping something up his sleeve. If not, I think it'll be Otamendi. Your lineup is looking good, bro. That's a Champions League winning lineup. Let's hope so. I'd have the lineup on the screen, says Kiam, if Laporte is fit. I'd go for something like that personally, but it's everyone's opinions, and probably Pep will come up with something different anyway. Hi, Brian. How are you? Mingy Wong 2-1 to City. Jack Lee, United 1, City 2. Sterling's crap in derbies, though, so maybe Mahrez in there. Mingy Wong, how many goals has Aguero got against United? That's a question I don't know, mate. I don't know that off the top of my head. Scott Williams, think Pep will deploy Ilkay to counteract Bruno? Maybe he will. Shadow goes for Ederson, Walker, Otamendi, Fernandinho, Mendy, Rodri, Gundo, Foden, KDB, Jesus, Mahrez, false 9. False 9 formation. Maybe he will. Tasman UK, Ederson, Walker, Mendy, Fernandinho, Otamendi, Rodri, Gundogan, KDB, Foden, Sterling, and Aguero. So a lot of people there going for Rodri and Gundogan and dropping Bernardo. Personally, for me, I'd have Bernardo in the team because he's just starting to get back in a bit of form. His energy, he tackles back, he tracks back, he defends well, and he's tricky. And let's face it, we want somebody who can stop Luke Shaw pushing forward. By all accounts, he had a very good game last night, albeit against Derby. And we need somebody who can really occupy him. And I don't think Mahrez would do that job. I really don't. And that's no disrespect to Mahrez. As I said before, I get accused again of being a Mahrez hater. I'm not. I'm just pointing out simple facts that he doesn't track back. 163 goals and 106 points my team got. Lankau, Ederson, Walker, Otamendi, Fernand, Mendy, Rodri, Silva, Bernardo, Mahrez, Jesus, Sterling. 3-1 wins. Silva, Bernardo and Rodri. Even giving us goal scorers on the channel now. So, right. Mark the Blue goes 3-1 City. Jack Lee says Ederson, Walker, Otter, Ferner, Mendy, Rodri, KDB, Foden, Bernardo, Mahrez, Aguero. Podcast was amazing, Andy. Great guest. It was very, very good. Don't forget, earlier on, look at the live chat. You can see the links that I put in there for the podcast and also for the Premier League predictions video. So go back and look at that. Shadow Rundown, United will play down the middle. I can see Pep going down the wings. As it's Friday, I'll go 4-0 this time. Tomorrow, we'll probably change. Win against the Rags. It's all matters. Fantastic podcast, Andy. Thank you very much, guys. Listen, thank you so much for coming on. I've got to go. I've got loads to do. But anyway, listen, this is Andy from Man City Fan TV. Thank you, everybody, for getting us through that 12,000 subscribers. Absolutely amazing. Dan James for their goal, you reckon? And if you've not listened to the podcast, don't forget, you can go on the channel. It's there. It was put up last night. You can also go to SoundCloud, download it for free, and listen to it if you just want to put your headphones in. If you're running, walking, on the bus, going to the gym, doing whatever, go and have a listen to it. Really interesting. And thanks to Tom, Chris, and Carl over in the States for answering the Cup review, all about Madrid, all about the Villa Wembley trip, and all about Wednesday night's game against Sheffield Wednesday. We also talk about opposition fans and how they're treating City fans at the moment. And also we have the golden question, and we ask them about Sunday. So go over, have a look. Have a good night, Andy. You too, buddy. Good night to you, Shadow. Latest Blues, have a good one. Bye, lads. Have a good one, Scott. Yeah, Alex Portelado. You take care. Guys, don't forget to subscribe. Keep subscribing. Keep sharing it around on your social media platforms. Facebook, Twitter, whatever it is, Instagram. Let's get these subs up because we're we're not resting on our laurels. We've got a whole new production sort of announcement next week, hopefully, or in 2 weeks' time, and you'll see some changes to the channel, which is quite exciting. So we're not resting on that. We're pushing for 13k. That's the next target. So, guys, thank you. We'll be back tomorrow at some point. I'm not sure what. But we will be around tomorrow doing something with you guys as always. And then don't forget, 4 p.m. on Sunday, Martin is doing a live watch along about the game at Old Trafford, City versus United. It's Derby Day. It's back. And I've gone for 3-1 City. But guys, take care. Have a wonderful evening. We'll see you soon.